A warm welcome to all of you, back to our shared home, Donghua family. Right now, let's continue following the incredibly intense events from the end of the last episode. The moment he set foot in Jiangguin City, with a spiritual sense far more powerful than that of ordinary people, HanLi immediately detected the presence of a few little rats stealthily tailing him. He merely curled his lips into a cold smirk, not yet making a move. However, at that very moment, in a location not far away, the atmosphere among the disciples of the Yuling sect suddenly froze. The already tense expression on Ham Van Chi's face turned as pale as a sheet. She stared at the tracking artifact in her hand, her voice trembling with fear as she said, "This is bad. The spirit infant signal. It hasn't just stopped. It's rushing straight towards us at a terrifying speed." The entire group instantly understood the most dreadful possibility. They had been discovered by a nascent soul stage cultivator, and worse, that individual was now hunting them in return. The feeling of being locked onto by a ferocious beast hunting its prey sent them all into a state of extreme panic. Without a shred of hesitation, the more experienced Lunok shouted, "Everyone, follow my command, run. We absolutely cannot confront them. We must get to the nearest ghost spirit sect branch to find shelter." As soon as the words left her mouth, the group, daring not to delay for even a second, immediately combined their powers to cast a speed-enhancing spell. A brilliant yellow light erupted, enveloping them all before shooting off like a meteor, tearing through the night sky. Although the relationship between the Yuling sect and the Ghost Spirit sect was far from amicable, in this life-or-death situation, facing a difficult neighbor was far better than being torn to shreds in the wilderness by a true monster. After a few minutes of fleeing at a breakneck pace, they finally spotted a group of Ghost Spirit sect cultivators ahead. Immediately, 3 core formation stage cultivators, 2 men and 1 woman, moved forward to block their path. One of the male cultivators, with sharp eyes and a voice dripping with sarcasm, spoke up. "Well, if it isn't the renowned junior sister Ham and junior sister Lu of the Yuling sect. For 2 fairies to grace our Viet state with your presence, you truly bring honor to this humble shrimp's home." Recognizing from his tone that he was a subordinate of the soul-crushing perfected being, Lunok quickly adopted a polite demeanor and greeted him. However, the female core formation cultivator from the Ghost Spirit sect, her eyes filled with unconcealed jealousy at Ham Van Chi and Lunok's beauty, cut in sharply. "Why aren't you 2 junior sisters staying comfortably in the Yuanwu state? What are you doing sneaking into our Viet state's territory? Do you see our Ghost Spirit sect as mere air, a place you can come and go as you please?" Lunok forced a smile and deftly replied, "Senior Sister Lam, you misunderstand. We are on an urgent mission and didn't have time to send a notice. We'll only stay for a few days and then leave immediately." Finding the women's conversation somewhat tedious, Senior Brother Tuan of the Ghost Spirit sect suddenly spoke, his voice deep and cold. "I don't care what you 2 are doing. I only want to ask, a few days ago, did you happen to pass through the Tainak mountain range and notice anything unusual?" Ham Van Chi raised an eyebrow, her expression full of hidden meaning as she replied, "Tainak Mountain? Does Senior Brother Tuan mean the area of the old Yellow Maple Valley ruins?" This statement struck a nerve like a bolt of lightning. The expression on the cultivator's surname Tuan remained unchanged, but a deadly, cold glint flashed in his eyes. The 2 beside him no longer bothered to hide their surging killing intent. Seeing the situation turn sour, Ham Van Chi and Lunok exchanged a glance and hurriedly explained, "We truly have not been to that place, but we did receive information that a cultivator had stopped there. Could it be that the person Senior Brother Tuan is looking for is him? You knew from 100 miles away? Are you joking with me, Junior Sister Lu? Or was that person one of your sex members? Senior Brother, please don't joke. We are in a great hurry right now. We will definitely come and explain everything in detail another day. If it were an ordinary matter, I would let it go. But this time, 6 of my junior brothers were murdered there, and my master is in a furious rage. After investigating, your group is the most suspicious. How about this? We go and confront that person together." The disadvantageous situation was clear. Just as Lunok was about to open her mouth to make an excuse, her expression suddenly twisted in absolute terror. It wasn't just her. Every cultivator present, from core formation to foundation establishment, felt an immense and powerful spiritual sense descend from the heavens like an invisible mountain, blanketing the entire area. Although no one could be seen, the terrifying pressure and bone-chilling killing intent made everyone's face pale and their limbs tremble. The female core formation cultivator from the ghost spirit sect shrieked in horror. It's a nascent soul stage cultivator. You dare to drag us down with you? Cut the nonsense. Senior brother Tuan spun around and roared, "Scatter and run." With that, he transformed into a streak of black light, leading the panicked race to escape. The other male core formation cultivator still clung to a sliver of optimism. It might not be the killer. Why be so afraid? If you want to gamble with your life, senior brother, be my guest. I'm leaving. The female cultivator, surnamed Lamb, didn't hesitate for a moment, transforming into a escape light and rocketing away, her voice echoing in the air. Seeing this, the scholar-like cultivator shot a resentful glare at the Yuling sect group before stomping his foot and fleeing as well. The lower-level disciples scattered in a panic, like bees from a disturbed hive. Lu Nok was so furious she roared, "This bunch of useless cowards. Not only were they no help, but they also wasted our precious time to escape." Hearing this, Ham Van Chi, in her despair, gave a strange, bitter smile. Not entirely useless. With them acting as bait and distracting him, our chances of survival have increased quite a bit. I suppose we can only rely on fate now. With that, she summoned her spirit beast and leaped into the air. The others understood immediately and scattered in all directions. In theory, even a nascent soul cultivator with 3 heads and 6 arms couldn't possibly chase all of them down. At this moment, HanLi had silently appeared where they had just been. He swept his gaze around and sighed softly, murmuring, "This is indeed a bit troublesome." Finishing his words, HanLi took a deep breath. A loud boom echoed, not from the sky, but from his own back. A pair of silver wings, shimmering with electrical light, the wind and thunder wings, had unfurled. His body flickered and vanished on the spot, reappearing several miles away in the next instant. His immense spiritual sense spread out silently, locking onto the position of every single prey. The farthest had run 50 miles, the closest just over 10. HanLi let out a cold laugh, his first target being the one who had fled the farthest. Miserable screams quickly rang out before being silenced. The ghost spirit sect members who fled first were sent to meet their ancestors early. Shortly after, the lower-level disciples of the Yuling sect followed them one by one to the underworld. Ham Van Chi was riding her spirit bird, her face wrought with extreme tension, her eyes glued to a jade disc in her hand. On it, the spots of light representing the lives of her fellow sect members were extinguishing one after another. Now, perhaps only she and Lu Nok remained. She smiled bitterly. Regret was too late. She gritted her teeth and performed a secret art, forcing her spirit beast to increase its speed by half, regardless of the severe damage it would sustain. But only a moment later, the sound of thunder roared right behind her. A figure suddenly appeared directly in front of her, blocking her path, and casually flung out several sharp streaks of azure light. Utterly desperate, Ham Van Chi squeezed her eyes shut, awaiting the final judgment of death. However, right at that moment, the lethal azure lights suddenly froze in midair and dissipated. A familiar, yet startling voice rang out. "Oh, it's you?" The figure let out a cry of surprise and retracted all of his attacks. Ham Van Chi opened her eyes in a daze, and before she could even get a clear look at her opponent, he had vanished again. While she was still trying to comprehend what was happening, a pop sounded as her protective barrier shattered. A small bolt of electricity struck her body, causing her to go limp and fall from her spirit beast. In her fading consciousness, she vaguely felt a sturdy pair of arms catch her right before she passed out completely. HanLi looked at the unconscious woman in his arms, a wry smile on his face. Truly, enemies walk a narrow path. After saying this, he gently placed Ham Van Chi on a safe mountaintop and then continued his pursuit of the final target. As a result, when HanLi appeared before Lu Nok, she was so terrified that she immediately released a swarm of gigantic, glossy black, flying centipedes. Upon seeing these centipedes, HanLi's eyes, which had been cold and indifferent, suddenly lit up with unconcealable excitement. He exclaimed in astonishment, "The legendary 6-winged frost centipedes, ranked 18th on the exotic insect list." This type of centipede, just like HanLi's own gold-devouring beetles, were both ancient exotic insects from the primordial era. How will old Devil Han deal with Lu Nok and this swarm of rare exotic insects? Find out in the next episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for Donghua family so you don't miss any of the thrilling developments. For now, goodbye, and see you again.